If you are looking for a holiday full of rich culture, diverse cuisine and stunning views, all without breaking the bank, then we've got you. This was by far our craziest family holiday, and if we can do it, you can do it. Welcome to our Southeast Asia trip series, the one where we backpacked for 2 weeks with 3 kids, went on 8 flights and visited 4 countries. With the main goal of taking Naomi and Thaniel to visit their dad after 11 months apart, our trip turned out to be quite eventful, from sleeping with cockroaches, lizards and unknown creatures to taking on lots of adventure, and a moment where we felt imprisoned and honestly very scared for our life in Bali. I don't think they're very happy that we've left them. I do feel sorry for them because it's not their fault, they haven't messed up. Their bosses, who are the money grabbing sods, have.
The journey began in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Oh wait, no it didn't. Let's rewind a little. Leaving the UK in midwinter for a warmer climate was up there when looking forward to this time away. We'll just put it out of our minds for a moment that we'll have to come back to it. The trip to the airport started with a 3 a.m. start and an EP 3 degrees, which going to the airport in shorts and t-shirts turned out not such a smart idea. But we were determined to pack light and could see the 30-degree heat and tasty Asian food on the horizon. Car dropped off through security and into departures. This is the point that we are thankful with the decision to pack light and have carry-on luggage in order to avoid the queues, even if this amused the customer service lady for Qatar Airways when checking in. We've actually been called through the tannoy to attend the boarding gate on our previous trip to Asia because everyone was concerned we hadn't checked in any hold luggage as a family of 5. Anyway, that's enough about the airport and flying. Feel free to watch our Flying with Kids video. Touching down in Malaysia after 2 long flights, and Naomi and Thaniel finally got to see their father and extended family after a long time apart. Quick refreshments break before heading off to our first Malaysia visit, but we had to return to the airport 8 hours later. Bear with us.
First stop was Putrajaya, south of Kuala Lumpur. Philippa and myself had wanted to visit this place for quite a while, and only 30 minutes from the airport, this was an ideal time to visit the Putra Mosque. Made from rose-coloured granite with a pink dome, it was truly stunning. So we've now just arrived at a place called Putrajaya. This is about 20 minutes away from the airport. There is a really impressive mosque behind. Apparently this is the only mosque in the whole of Malaysia that lets non-Malaysians in, which is pretty impressive, which is also the reason why there is a massive queue outside, which is great. There's also lots of food courts right down the bottom here, lots of restaurants, so we're going to grab a bite to eat. We haven't been in Malaysia that long, probably about 2 hours, and it's about 3 a.m. UK time, so we're just adjusting. So the weather is very lovely, very warm. The kids are a little bit tired, but we've just got here, all good, everyone's happy, the sun is out, and it's February. It's a real novelty to be lovely and warm in February. We're just walking into Putra Mosque. We have certain attire to respect the Muslim traditions, so covering up hair for the ladies and covering up the legs for all. And we have these really fetching, kind of like Harry Potter outfits. Pretty impressive. I kind of like this. At this point, we needed to return to the airport about 8 hours later to meet Philippa's cousin and her husband, who were heading to Asia from France. Very excited to have them on this trip. However, the unseasoned travellers got lost at the airport upon disembarking the plane and hadn't even found immigration. So thanks to modern technology and location sharing on WhatsApp, Philip was able to navigate them through to the arrivals hall, albeit 1 hour late. Okay. A useful tip when travelling in Kuala Lumpur, and depending on your party size, travelling by Grab taxi is often more cost effective than taking the Metro Rail. For us, getting a 6-seater Grab definitely was. For example, a train from Kuala Lumpur International Airport to KLCC, which is the city centre, for 2 adults is 55 ringgit per adult, and for 3 children is 25 ringgit per child. That totals 185 ringgit, and comparing that to a Grab which was around 80 to 100 ringgit. The Grab app itself is easy to download and navigate. You can link this to your bank account for easy payment, and we used our Starling account, which offers us good FX rates and no charges to use abroad.
Off we went to our accommodation for the next 2 nights. A family apartment for 7 of us in the centre of town, which was £87 at the Majestic Place. We thought this was a very reasonable price despite the cockroaches and lizards. We were conscious of cost and worked to a budget, and considering we were there for 2 nights, turned out to be a great choice. When you have a rooftop pool and a bar with a view of the most iconic towers, as well as the Merdeka 118, which is near completion and will become the second tallest tower in the world, all is good in the world. The pool was a winner for everyone. Appetite built up, time to explore the local area, and we headed to a very popular food market called Jalan Alor Night Market. This place was awesome, and the food on offer didn't disappoint. The only problem was what to choose. It had something for everyone. We settled for an open-air sit-down meal due to the size of our party, and price of the meal for 11 people was around 400 ringgit, which is the equivalent of £70 at the time. But we ate a lot. The restaurant name was Mengki Grilled Fish. If you're enjoying this video and finding any of the content useful, please do consider subscribing. It does mean the world to us.
The next morning, which was our only full day in KL, we set off to explore the city and all it has to offer. Kuala Lumpur has an abundance of beautiful open green spaces and botanical gardens. With so much to choose from, we narrowed it down to a stunning butterfly garden at Kuala Lumpur Butterfly Park, which was a massive hit with the kids, followed by a wander around Taman Orchid Kuala Lumpur, full of rich colours and a huge variety of, you guessed it, orchids. So we're at a butterfly park in one of the many botanical gardens here in Kuala Lumpur. It's actually really lovely. There are lots of butterflies and the kids are loving it. They're getting to see the butterflies eat the food. They're pretty much landing all over the place. Food isn't too far from our thoughts at any given time of the day, so time for a pit stop at the Hornbill within the park, which has some very welcome aircon and coconut juice. After lunch, the local Hornbill paid a visit to the restaurant. To the delight of the children and the adults, it beats the pigeons that we see at home. We headed back to the hotel to freshen up and have a dip in the pool. Like a lot of people, a swimming pool is a must for our family, especially in this weather. That evening we headed to KLCC Centre Point to see the illuminated Petronas Towers. They looked incredible from a distance, but they looked even better close up. These twin towers remain the tallest twin towers in the world, and they held the tallest building record from 1996 to 2004 at nearly 1,500 feet tall. So we're currently having a little wander around KLCC, so that's the city centre within Kuala Lumpur, and we're right outside the Petronas Towers. Now these buildings from a distance are incredibly stunning. They're actually, the architecture on these buildings are actually pretty impressive, considering the age of them, which is insert age here. The design is absolutely brilliant. And they're lit up this time of night as well, so they look really good from a distance. We can actually see these from our hotel room, which is pretty impressive. And they have the walk bridge in between. And I get a little bit sick just looking at them, but the kids are pretty amazed by them, which is great. And it's another wonderful experience ticked off the list for them. I caught myself humming the theme tune to the Ivory Tower scene in The Neverending Story. Da, 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 da. What a classic 80s movie. After some breathtaking sightseeing, we decided to take a 15-minute walk away from the towers towards an open-air food market on a recommendation of a family member. It was late when we arrived at Tapak Urban Street Dining. It was very reasonably priced, however, lacked a little in choice due to the time that we arrived. However, everyone found something that they liked. Having multiple food vendors, it's hard just to stick with one thing. The joys of food courts. Everything looked good, so naturally you wanted to try everything, and we gave it a good go. The following morning arrived and we made a mad dash to the airport as we got our timing slightly wrong. This short but very sweet trip to this wonderful city came to a close for chapter 1, and the sun, wildlife, water and the idyllic setting of beautiful Thailand beckoned. Fear not, we returned to KL later in the series to round off this mammoth trip, and things definitely didn't go to plan. And do we find the best pool yet? Our Kuala Lumpur adventure may have started with lost relatives and cockroaches, but it ended with swimming, sightseeing and a birthday celebration for our beautiful Naomi. If you want to see more of our epic journey throughout Southeast Asia, consider subscribing, and next week we will explore the best of Thailand, and trust me, you won't want to miss it.